Greetings, dear ones. I'm Kryon of Magnetic Service. All that has been said is accurate and true. And dear ones, you're going to find the channelings of the age allied in this. And the message is beautiful and difficult. I want to talk about you in a way we've done before, but maybe one you've not experienced. How old are you? Don't count the years. I said, how old are you? You're ancient. All of you. Every single one. And there are those who would say, well, I'm not really sure of that. I don't believe that. I have no evidence of that. Take away that which is cerebral for a moment and just go inside. You are a knowing human being. You wouldn't be in this meeting unless you were at least asking the question, is this real? The knowingness inside is not an intellectual pursuit or result of anything logical. You know things. You know that there is a great deal out there that you are not aware of, but that somehow you're part of. In that knowing state, how old are you? What if I told you yet again that this galaxy is one of many, in a universe that is one of many, and that as far back as you want to project in years, light years, computations, as far back as you can count, you are there. A part of you which you call the soul, and we use a word that you've never even heard. A word we say in light that means family. You've never heard, you can't hear light. But when you're not here, you can. And if you were not here, and if you were with me, with the creative source right now, and we said the word in our own language, in our own way, in light, you would resound to it because it's home. That's how old you are. It means you watched this earth in its molten state. Wherever you were, you watched it in its molten state. Dear ones, the soul that you think you are is more complex than you know. Pieces and parts so divine that they are still with the Creator now. You call it your higher self. We call it family in light. Part of you is on the other side of the veil. There is a connection to the human being and the higher self. It goes through the veil, and it is seen in laughter and in joy and in love. And compassion is the cord that connects you to it. And when you are exhausted in laughter, you are connected to God. Can't you feel it? That's what you feel that is so infectious. That's what you'd like to bottle and pull out anytime you wanted to. That is the elusive thing, that joy, that inner child that is so much part of God. But it's you, believe me. Part of you is on the other side. You were here all along. You have been many places in this galaxy before Earth ever had life on it. And yet there was part of you on the other side as well. In whatever form you were in 3D in this galaxy, perhaps performing the same thing you're doing today, there was still part of you with the creative source. You watched this earth develop, and you knew what it was about. The meaning of life, what is it? Really, what is it? The meaning of life is literally the meaning of love. Can you take society and put it together and by itself, without even knowing there's anything outside, have itself eventually lift itself to a benevolent and graduate state? That is the puzzle of life. And I will tell you something. The answer is yes. And that's what you've done. And that's been done before in this galaxy and by those with names and light that are you. You're bigger than you think, and here it is again. Don't be afraid of change, for it is the catalyst of harmony. Change will put things together eventually that will synchronize into one field. That has been proven in physics. My partner will speak of it tomorrow. And you may not understand what I'm telling you, but I am saying you've seen this before. And yet in 3D, without you being able to see anything across the veil, for some it is fearful. For some it is disappointing. For some they're really ready for it. The old soul has to put aside the boxes of bias and smile for what is occurring on this planet that we said would be here. There is more to this story than you know, and it will show itself. The potentials are there for something that you don't expect. And we have said that before. Dear ones, are you prepared to look at all of these things in a circumspect way as an old soul who's been here from the beginning? There was a time when there was only beginning life on this planet where we saw this and you saw this. And I want to tell you what you did. There are billions of souls here. And I want to tell you what you did. You said, I want to be part of it. I want to be the gender that I am now, and I want to be part of this shift when it comes. I'm going to adjust my lifespan for it. And it might mean that you came and went quick so you could come back and be part of this right now at the age you are. How does that make you feel? You said, I'm not going to miss this party. I'm going to be part of the shift and the change. And you are. And the reason you said that, all of that eons ago, the reason you said that, because you knew that you'd be an old soul. And more than likely, you'd be able to help this shift in the light you carry. And you couldn't wait to do it. That's who you are. Older than old. Uncountable in years. And known by God, every single one. This is the message of Kryon, given over and over. And it coordinates with all of the other channels of this planet who right now are here because of the shift and giving you the same message over and over and over in their way, in words that are different. But it's the same thing. There is more here than you think. A lot more. Kryon, you've said there are things coming. I'm afraid. That's your choice, isn't it? Why does change elicit fear. And the reason is because in an old energy, dear ones, change almost always meant bad things. And that is the human bias. Everything in the future is a repeat of everything in the past. I've got a message tonight all about that. And something that is changing that you never thought would change. The very internal structure of spirituality may be shifting. I will tell you that. One of the biggest changes that Spirit asks you to accept is that the past is not the future. The past is not the future. The past is not the future. All you have seen is a repeat of what you've seen. Now turn the page and see it as different. Can you do it? Can you change a paradigm of thought to the degree that you will not be influenced by what always was? And that's tough for the human who depends on what happened before to know how to act in the future. It's a 1 year. It is the 1 year. The one past the shift. It is the beginning of paradigm change, and it doesn't come easy. If I told you you might have to do it incorrectly before you saw what was correct, would you accept it? It means there's work to do. It means that there are things that may fall on their faces before they seem to not work anymore. That there's old energy things that always worked that won't work in the future. Doesn't it make sense to you that when you start to graduate into a new energy, the old things don't apply? If you can get used to that message, you can relax. What is it you're going to learn? Prepare. What you're going to learn is wisdom about what doesn't work. And then you will shift it into wisdom that will. That's all part of that which is being on the planet Earth as an old soul. Lighthouses awake. Strike your lights and shine this like you never have before. And so it is.